Hey everyone,
Hello, everybody.
welcome to RVUTUBE Live for another Sunday afternoon. And it's me and Miss Barbara and the Coyote and a Redbird, a Cardinal.
Cardinal.
We have a Cardinal. We have a, what is that, Chinese
Crab
plum?
apple. It's a crabapple tree.
Okay, crabapple tree right outside the RV right here. And a Cardinal has been charging and slapping this window on the slide.
We're very close to the tree.
Very close.
I mean, we're at our property, but we had to trim it down so we can get the slide out.
The slide out. And he is just banging on this window. So if you hear some banging, that's our friend the Cardinal. And speaking of birds, since the last time we spoke, we had an incident with a sparrow.
Yes, you did.
Yeah.
Yes, we did.
We were we pulled out from Lake Eufaula on Friday, but Thursday, as we were walking Coyote, our camping neighbor pulled up. They were getting their boat down to the landing, and they pulled up and said, "Hey, by the way, we've been sitting over at our campsite watching a sparrow build a nest in your engine intake." Now, this particular RV, when we bought it, it has an engine intake on the side, on the driver's side, at the rear. The cover was missing when we bought this RV. I've been working with Four Winds trying to get a replacement for it, but I've been lazy about it, and I didn't get a replacement. Well, it hasn't been a problem. It's an air intake, and there's a filter at the end of the hose down at the diesel motor. But on this particular trip, this very, very ingenuitive, whatever you want to call it, persistent sparrow, she had built a huge, mostly pine straw nest. Now, I did post a video. It's real short. Y'all go check it out. It's about a minute and a half. But basically, she built a huge nest about this big up in the air intake for the diesel. Now, had I started the diesel up and started sucking pine straw down in that filter, it could have been bad. So thank goodness for nice camping neighbors who came over to let us know. And the whole time I was cleaning out the air intake, she was constantly hanging around on twigs and tree limbs with more in her mouth. She was ready to lay eggs. I'm just proud there weren't any eggs in it already, but she had it ready to go.
Her entire nest over to a tree. Of course, she's not going to have anything to do with it now.
I don't think so.
And
I moved it just a couple of feet away into a tree with a natural branch formation. I set it up in there, but she's not going to.
No.
She wanted that. I was joking that she was going to follow us home from the lake about 25 miles. She was going to follow us home and build her nest, continue building that nest in the RV. But that's a short little video. Go check it out. I also dropped another video today. I dropped it for members only yesterday. And then I dropped it for the public today. And it's probably one of our fastest moving videos of late. Me and my brother, we go noodling for lake catfish. And that's all I'm going to say. Please check it out. Please leave us a comment. I think you'll like it. Okay, Miss Barbara?
I see that Sherry with Backroads RVing.
Hello, Sherry.
Actually, that's Jerry.
Backroads RVing is Jerry.
And
Backroads Art Studio is Sherry.
And by the way, Jerry says he was number 2 today, but since Slow Momentum did come in first,
he did,
but he left.
Yeah, that's right. He said, "I'll be back." Right.
Now he's back.
Right.
Okay, so we have them. We have Mary Jones here. We've got Melanetti here. And come down a little bit further. Everybody's saying hello to everybody. Justin and Christine are here.
Oh, we had a great meetup with them this week. Yeah, yes. That was fun.
That was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Slow Momentum, of course, and he is hanging around, of course, saying hello to John with over his Hill RV.
Hi, John, channel member. We
Yeah.
appreciate that. We really do.
We do.
James Catanese.
Yes, James Catanese. And everybody again is saying hello to everybody. If you don't know, most of us are getting excited about going to KT's.
We are, and if you're not sure, this is what it is: the Slow Mo Crew Annual Rendezvous, and that is coming up the last weekend, actually the last week of April. The Slow Mo Crew Rendezvous. And that is in Bastrop, Louisiana. Make plans to attend. 19 channels. 19 channels have already said they are going to be there. This thing is getting huge.
It's getting huge.
It's getting huge. Slow-mo, you got enough room? He's got a good spread out there.
He does. He does.
And speaking of the Slow-mo Crew Rendezvous, Mel and Nettie are sponsoring it this year.
Yes.
And they have a couple of giveaways that they'd like us to tell you about. Here's one of them, 2 gift bags. Now, these are gift bags loaded with great stuff.
For the RV. For the
RV. And the ticket donation is $2. All the proceeds are going to go to KT and BJ for hosting the Slow-mo Crew Rendezvous, April 25th through May 2nd. Raffle tickets are $2. You must be there to win. But you can buy them when you get there. Drawings will be held for these 2 gift baskets Saturday, April the 30th. So those are 2 gift bags for only a $2 donation, and your chance to snag some great prizes.
That's right.
Also, let me show you the coup de grace. On Sunday, this will be Sunday, the giveaway. Raffle tickets are $5 for a Blackstone grill. The drawing will be Sunday, May 1st at the Slow-mo Crew Rendezvous, already pre-seasoned and ready for cooking, including a carrying bag. Raffle tickets are $5, and those donations, of course, will be given directly to KT and BJ for hosting the Slow-mo Crew Rendezvous again this year, number dos.
We also have the Brazen Brits here.
Hey, Brazen Brits, proud to see y'all.
Summer's going coastal.
That is Lisa, Summer, and Chris, and the twins.
And, of course, Lisa's here herself.
Excellent.
Rally Creative Travel.
Hey, Blaine.
And Weekends with the Camper.
There's the Cardinal.
I know, I keep watching. It looks like I'm just kind of...
just hit the window again.
I don't know if... Because he sits there and chirps for a long time, like telling his
There is
mate,
a tent on these windows.
I know,
There's a
you gotta
tent.
Be careful.
There's a tent, so I think he's seeing his reflection. Either that or he thinks it's an opening and he wants to build a nest too. So,
well, I'm worried about them building a nest. You know how the awning comes over.
The slide awning.
Yeah,
they could do that.
Underneath that. Anyway, gotta be careful.
You do have to be careful. Speaking of being careful, that's not a decent segue. But our topic today, and you be thinking about it, what we've learned so far. Now we've been at this well over 3 years, almost 4 now.
Okay.
Full time. We have lived in the RV full time for 2 years, on the road for almost a year now.
Yes.
And we're going to be telling you some of the things we have learned so far about RVing and camping. And we would love your input as well. So anytime during our conversation today, if you've got an item of interest that might help everybody else, be sure and pipe up right there in the chat, and let's let everyone know. But we'll start these topics here in a little bit. Again, the Slow-mo Crew Rendezvous, April 25th through May 2nd. May 2nd. And that is in Bastrop, Louisiana. There's going to be a whole bunch of channels there. This thing is growing, and we are so excited about it. We're going to be here at the house. We're here at Fire Ant Farms, a harvest host in Hillsburg, Alabama. It is, isn't it? It's our harvest host.
Well, it's our harvest host. It's our boondocking place, but we really don't have it set up for anybody else to come.
It's our driveway. Our driveway. Fire Ant Farms, harvest host in Hillsburg, Alabama. And we're only going to be here for just a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
And then we're on the road. We do have a lot to do. We got to do our tags. We got doctor's appointments, medications to get worked out.
House to clean out.
Yeah, house to clean out. I have got to move an entire radio station. Somebody's already pestering me like this Cardinal out here about moving that radio station. So I need to get that done. Got to get that done. But we're only going to be here for a couple of weeks. And
until we leave on the 12th.
We leave on the 12th.
13th is our first
travel day.
Travel day.
And where are we headed on the 13th?
We're going to a harvest host in near Milton, Florida.
And speaking of crawfish boil, I think Saturday at the rendezvous, we're going to have a crawfish boil. Yes, indeed, do.
We also need to say hello to Sandy.
Hello, Sandy, Idle Cruises.
And
Phil.
I had to say it that way because my husband will always come up with some sort of S word first. S name.
Sheila.
For Sheila, Shelly,
Susan, Sean.
But
I apologize.
Thank you for that. Oh, it's one of those things. Shanna Craft is
hung
here.
in my brain. Hello, Shanna Craft. We really appreciate our members. And speaking of members, we'd like to go ahead and recognize those.
Okay. I'm
going to drive for a minute, Miss Barbara. Our members are B&D Crafts and More. Let me slide this up. B&D Crafts and More, Nursing Our Travel Bug, James Catanese, Thrifty Angela, Idle Cruises, D from Foreverland RV, Chief 2, Jonnie's Journey, Avenger RV Adventure, and Over the Hill RV channel members with RV Underway. We really, really appreciate it. And the links to each one of those fine channels you'll find in the comments below on this live stream. So do go visit. Let me just scroll back to the top and you can have it.
We need to say hello to Roy and Becky.
Hello, Roy and Becky.
Glad
if you're not already a subscriber to Roy and Becky, go check them out. They do a live stream every day from under the awning. And it's a great little chat session for everybody to get together and just tell the news and talk about this and that and the other. And it's fun. It's called Under the Awning with Roy and Becky. And they've got a great channel. Be sure and go check them out. Frozen on my end, RV Underway. I know our
picture's pixelated. Hopefully
I
it's
know.
Cleared up.
Maybe it's that bird. I know we started with spotty. We always have spotty internet here at the Fire Ant Farms Harvest Host. We've been meaning to complain to the establishment. If it clears up, let us know. If it doesn't, we'll have to postpone this and talk about things we've learned so far next week.
We also have Murder Mystery Haunted History. BB3 is here.
That's right.
Yep. Blaine says it's better now.
And then Jerry says, where'd they go? I lost them. Or is it just me? No, it's not you. It's us, Jerry. We got a cardinal out here interfering with the signal.
He is tired that the other cardinal won't leave.
Lippy Lisa says, we look good now. We'll come in and out. Whenever we're out, y'all just talk amongst yourselves, okay? Again, on the video front, I dropped a video for the sparrow incident. It's quick and funny. Well, it's informative. Think about it. It's a quick video. Whoa.
Hello to Michael and Shelley and Talon.
Hello, Michael, Shelley, and Talon. I sure hope we don't miss you guys at Lake Eufaula. I hate that.
I know. But, I sent Michael
An itinerary?
In the works where, some of it's set and some of it's not. But I sent him our trip so that they can, hopefully we can meet up someplace. And it's talking about meeting up. If anybody comes anywhere close to us, wherever we may be, we'd love to meet up with you. It does not bother us.
We drove down to Panama City, about 100 miles, to meet Justin, Christine. Show. She delivered, and we were all blessed with Michael.
Yes.
And like I said, he's a big 2-year-old. He's going to be a big boy. And I asked them both because neither one of them are real tall.
True. True.
But
I think Michael's almost half as tall as Christina.
But I think he's going to be a big boy. Somewhere in their family tree, there's some height in that family because I think Michael's he's a big boy. And anyway, it was great to see him. Went down, had a meal with him, hung around, and then rode back. So if you're ever in the area, I-10 running through North Florida, in Alabama, over in Southwest Georgia, just give us a holler, drop us a note, rvunderway@gmail.com. And we'll do our best if we're in the area to get over and buy you lunch.
Or on Facebook, they can message us.
RV Underway on Facebook.
Well, even me.
Well, that's probably the best bet. AKA Ford Man, Kenneth Oakes is here.
Yeah.
Hello, Kenneth. Proud that you are here. Let me take this mouse just a second. 15 folks in the room. We appreciate y'all spending a Sunday
absolutely.
with us. And so our topic today, wow, it got bright.
Sun came out.
Yeah, sun came out. Ooh, let me move that notepad. Look, when I have the notepad in front of me, that is some bright sun. Woo. Okay, on my notepad here, these are some things we jotted down, things we have learned in 4 years of RVing, 2 years of living full-time in the RV, and 1 year of actually being on the road full-time in the RV. Okay? I'm going to start off with my favorite. The black tank is your friend. When we started getting into RVing, the only folks we knew who owned an RV was my brother and his wife, and they would go RVing at the lake.
Yeah. And
boy, they would not use that bathroom. They might go in there and tinkle, number one, but never number two. Oh, no, because you don't want to have to clean out that black tank. And they had me pure scared about the black tank, the whole stinky slinky and the black tank and the valves and everything. And I didn't know. So we finally get our first RV, Matilda G, who is sitting right over there. We get her and we take it out the first time. And we decide we're gonna use our bathroom for what it was intended to be used for. And we did. And I pull up to the dump station. I get out the hose. I hook it up. I flush my black tank. Then I open my gray tank to flush out my hose. Then I close the black tank valve. And then I close the gray tank valve. And I disconnect my hose. And I rinse my hose out. And I'm wearing my gloves. And I rinse my hose out. And I stow my hose and shut the compartment. What was so bad about that?
Yeah.
Wasn't nothing bad about that. But the black tank is your friend. Don't be scared of your water closet or your basement water compartment, your utilities compartment. What do they call it? Your sewer, your water. Anyway, don't be afraid of it. Handling meds and appointments, doctor's appointments must be planned must be planned.
Must be planned. I mean,
we are finding that of all the difficulties, which aren't many, some of the difficulties of RVing full time is getting your medications, making your doctor's appointments, leaning on telehealth as much as you can. If you can make an appointment, ask your doctor. Obviously, if it's a physical examination, you got to be there. But if it's a consultation or a checkup or something like that, check on some meds or, ask your doctor if you can telehealth. And we have learned telehealth is important. The other thing is we simply have to plan when we can be back for our doctor's appointments.
Right. Because, for example, I have blood drawn at least twice a year.
Yeah.
And so for my thyroid issues. So unless now I understand that there are people that are able to work out getting blood drawn at another location and having it sent, the results sent to their doctor. I'm not ready for that, mainly because it takes research. So.
Yeah, Matilda G is still there, Lisa. It's still there. We've got a potential buyer. So we're just waiting to see what they're going to do. James says, I can see Ricky blowing air come down on him. Yeah. Roy and Becky, we still have friends that will not use their RV toilet. They will walk a mile or more to a bathroom. I don't mind walking, and I don't mind using most of the facilities that I find at RV parks. Every now and then they get kind of rank.
Yeah.
You'll find a park just doesn't upkeep their facilities very well, but I don't mind using that. But if it's the middle of the night and I don't want to fuss with walking all the way, getting dressed and go, I'm going to use it. And that's what it's for. All right. We talked about handling meds and appointments. You got to plan for those. You really do. Boondocking ain't so bad.
No, it's not.
Depends
on where you're at, I suppose.
Yeah, but another myth was, boondocking. Unless you're really decked out for boondocking, you got to have so much solar and you got to have this and that. We do have a generator, a diesel generator, runs off the diesel tank. So we just make sure we're always full of fuel. And we boondocked for 3 solid weeks, 21 days in Key West, Florida. And now we opened all the windows. We didn't have to run the AC that much. So let me qualify that by saying if you're in a very, very, very hot situation, boondocking may not be the answer unless you really want to challenge your generator. You generally can't run your AC off of solar. Now, I hear some guys out there that say they have so much solar they can run their AC. Well, but for the most part, we have found that boondocking ain't so bad, and we did a lot of it on this last leg.
We did. Down
through Florida. We stayed at quite a few Boondockers Welcome. We stayed at Harvest Host, and we stayed at Key West, which was in the dry camping.
Mm-hmm.
And we didn't have a problem with it at all.
No.
Not a problem. All right, here's a big one. Check your sites before you book your sites. Check your sites before you book them. And what I mean by that is we do like to stay at a lot of Corps of Engineer campgrounds. They always tend to be near a body of water,
yep,
on a lake, on a river, which means the terrain, the topography around the river or lake means that a lot of the sites have a steep angle. They angle in very steeply. They angle in and then level off. And there's a quick little video I put out about scraping the back of the RV. There were some sites we discovered we simply couldn't get into and had to change our plans. So if you're at say you're at a Corps of Engineer camp or your state park or something like that, and you're going to return, take some time, take a little pad of paper, mm-hmm, and walk around or drive around and pick out the sites. That'll be great. That's a nice one. That would be good. This one is a no-no. This one is a no-no. And just mark your sites off. So if you know you're going back to that park, you've got a little reference. So we already know some of the campsites that we absolutely cannot get into. We simply can't make that pitch and then level off without scraping. There you go. Let's see what we got in the chat over here.
Now
I
I've
know,
got sun
seen
on
your
me.
video. Boondocking is the way to go. That's Roy and Becky. We agree. Slow momentum, smart. Yeah, good idea. We had one site on our 2.5-month road trip this past fall. Go ahead and read that.
Just couldn't get level for the life of us. Kept it hooked up for the night and then went to another location. We've been able to, well, we went to one Corps of Engineers, and it didn't say so on the website, but it was a tent only.
It was, and they saw us drive in on a Class A. It was a state park.
Yeah.
And they saw us drive in with a Class A towing a Jeep. Yet the guy booked us into a tent site. And the roads kept getting smaller and smaller as we went deeper into the park. And I was like, dude, this is an RV roller coaster back here. Mm-hmm. And then when we finally got to the site, Miss Barbara pointed and said, that's the number. I went, Number one, there ain't no power. There's a water spigot, but there ain't no power.
Yeah. And
I said, hun, this is a tent site. And we drove all the way back. And when we got back to the gate, the guy's wife snickered and says, I told him after y'all drove away, I told him that you had put him in the wrong site. But if you can, you know, a lot of times it's not possible. You're booking at a distance, and a lot of times Google Earth is not going to help you to see what the sites are like, the pitch of the sites or the levelness or any of that. So you're going to take your chances. But if you are going to a park that you know you're going to return to, if it's a favorite park of yours, like the ones we have here around the lake that we frequent a lot, we know which sites we can tolerate and which ones we cannot. Timmy Ray the King says, I got my 500 subs just now. Party. Congratulations, Party. Timmy Ray. We have a notepad with nothing but great sites in it. That is Roy and Becky. That's a good idea. Excellent idea. Google Earth. This is another thing we've learned. Google Earth will help you with your travel plans. It's one thing to book a site, whether it's a state park, a private park, a Corps of Engineer park, a Boondocker's Welcome, a Harvest Host, whatever it happens to be.
Right.
One thing to book it. It's something entirely different as to whether or not you can get to it. And case in point, we booked a Harvest Host in Georgia. It was a brewery, Iron Shield Brewery. And had I been smart, I would have pulled it up on Google Earth and said, no, that's too much heartache. Let's just try something else. What it was it was a suburb of Atlanta. And it was very small streets, very, very small thoroughfares, sharp right and left-hand turns. And we couldn't even get into the place till after 6 when they closed. So we had to park in a church parking lot.
Go to the brewery.
Yeah. Had we pulled this up on Google Earth, we would have seen that it was basically in Atlanta. And we would not have tried to drive this 38-foot diesel pusher. I wouldn't do that again. But Google Earth, think about that. The next time you book something, take a look at Google Earth. And especially if you think maybe it's in a congested area, it might not be something you want to drag a fifth wheel around to, or a big Class A or something like that. Speaking of GPS is not always right.
That's right. That's correct.
That is correct. And I'm going to let Miss Barbara tell this story. It was just a recent trip.
Hello,
Posh Cats Camping. Hello. How in the heck are you? Are y'all across the pond? Appreciate it.
That's
Trev and Sue, folks. Go check them out. Posh Cats Camping. You want to see how they caravan over in UK? Check out Posh Cats Camping. Sue and Trev, we're proud you're here. Thank you.
Yes, matter of fact, it was in Florida. We were going to a resort, and We had our address, had everything set up. Well, there's a couple of trips actually that we've had incidents with. But on their website, it said, do not follow GPS. Mainly because the GPS would have you going in at an angle that you would have to make turn after turn. And, well, you'd have to turn left, get into the right lane, turn right almost immediately.
Yeah, you had to make a U-turn on a 4-lane highway and then a right-hand turn to get into the park, which was sharp. But that's one that Google Earth would have been. But the website, when you book it, they'll tell you. They'll tell you. And if you call them, you should always call these campsites. Yeah.
The other one we had, and we were meeting up in Maxwell, wasn't it? Maxwell Air Force Base?
Yeah, Maxwell, right. Took us to a gate that was closed, had been closed for a long time, had cobwebs and weeds growing on it. But the
no
GPS,
place to turn around.
Yeah, no place to turn around. I had to do that Austin Powers thing. And then drive off. It was terrible. But it took us to the GPS, took us to a gate that was closed. So we had to make our way. However, the website told us if you use GPS, just punch in the post office, which is right inside the gate. That was either the website that told us that or Michael and Shelley. Michael said, use the front gate. In this case, the post office would have been smart. The other incident was recently, just in the past month. We were down in Crystal River near that area.
Okay.
And we were kind of in a hurry the morning before, packing things up. We were at a Harvest Host, I think, and we were heading over to the campground to meet friends. And Miss Barbara had the address, the street address. Not me. I just take my RV GPS, the Garmin up there, and I punch in nearby campgrounds, and it gives you campgrounds within 100 miles. And I see our campground, punch it, we're off and running. It took us 19 miles north to a used car lot, but it said that was the campground. It said you were 0.3 of a mile from your campground, and I looked up and it was a used car lot. 19 miles north of where we were supposed to go. We had to turn around, drive all the way back. And in full disclosure, I was getting upset. Miss Barbara got upset with me, and she used the bad word. She said, put in the address, put in the blank address. And so I typed in the address. Sure enough, took us right to the campground. So don't trust those listings that pop up in your Garmin or your TomTom or whatever GPS you happen to use. If you've got a street address, punch in the street address. I use the RV GPS for time and location. Mallory uses her phone often, and we have the good old Rand McNally just in case we need a paper map. Rand McNally, boy, I have driven many a mile in the military with that Rand McNally. That's right, buddy. Okay, more places allow lot docking than you know. And we're finding that out little by little, more and more. In fact, we didn't know we could boondock overnight or even a couple of nights at a Camping World. We didn't know that. They have hookups and a dump station. And if you're a Camping World member, which we happen to be members, Good Sam members, if there's a camp, not all of them have it, but if there's a Camping World nearby, call them, ask them if they have a space available. And if they do, ease on over there. It beats being in a lot docking situation like Walmart. Which again, some do and some don't. You need to check with whatever Walmart you're going to be visiting. But lots of places. What was I hearing just the other day? A lot of stadiums. Mm-hmm. Like if it's a football stadium or something, parking lots are wide open. You need a place to sleep the night, pull in there. Most of them aren't gated, not the parking lots. So you can, churches, if it's during the week or something, obviously respectful of their schedule. But church parking lots are nice big parking lots, and most of them don't mind if you spend the night and ease off the next morning. Again, you would probably want to call the church and whoever answers the listed number for the church, you can ask them. Of course, you've got Walmarts, and you've got Cracker Barrels, and you've got Flying J and Pilot and TA and Loves and places like that do allow overnight parking. A lot of rest areas on the highway allow overnight parking. And something I didn't write down here, and we just found this out, most of your welcome stations, your rest stops that are welcome stations just inside the state lines, offer dump stations. We didn't know that.
Yeah.
It's kind of a gimme. You need to check. You can pull up the rest area on the web, and it'll let you know whether they have a RV sanitary dump station or not. But most of them we have found do.
Hello to Fairy Dust. Let me do that.
Say it, baby.
It's Wheat the Wild Winds. And also, I loved it. Mary Jones mentioned she had used her, let's see here, she used GPS to take her to a pain doctor. And that she was going to, that she didn't know the location. And it took her to an abandoned motel.
Dun, dun, dun.
That could be a feature for Murder Mystery Haunted History.
That could. Woo. My first TomTom, me and Miss Barbara love Starbucks, and we don't try to make Starbucks in the RV, but when we're driving or traveling just in the car or Jeep, we like a Starbucks. And years ago, we were down in South Florida, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, that area. I punch in, we're on I-95 headed north, and I punch in Starbucks, and we started cranking and turning and crooking and looping back around and finally ended up at a daycare way off in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
I've never been so mad with a TomTom in my life, because number one, I was not at a Starbucks, and number two, I wanted that coffee bad. I did. All right, let's move on to another topic. You don't need as much as you think. We have got stuff. In fact, Matilda G sitting over there has stuff in her that we might have used once, and it's just in there. So if you're just starting out in the RVing experience, you don't need what you think you need. Our suggestion, after this many years of doing it, is go camping. Take the bare necessities. Take what you need, what you know you're going to need. And as you experience that first campsite, that first RVing, that first adventure, you'll find out what you need. You'll see camp neighbors that have that. Man, I would like one of those. That would be something we would use. You know, a grill, whatever it happens to be. But we started out in the first year, buddy, I was busting Amazon open. The Amazon truck was wearing a hole in my driveway, bringing stuff. And some of that stuff is still sitting. Barely got the new knocked off of it. It's just sitting. And it's the same way with this whole YouTube thing. You know, I went into it gangbusters, and I spent thousands of dollars on teleprompters and light rigs and cameras and microphones and wireless rigs, and just take it easy. Your cell phone will make a great video. There ain't many cell phones nowadays that don't even offer the capability of 4K. You can do some great videos with nothing more than a cell phone. I have got a Canon M50 camera, I think it is. I don't take it out of the case anymore. I probably haven't used it for 5 videos in 3 years that I've owned it. You don't need what you think you need. Take it from us and all these folks in the chat. You'll spend a lot less money, and you'll have the bare necessities.
Hello to Dawn and Bear.
Hello, Dawn and Bear. Adventures in Xanadu. I bet their RV's named Xanadu.
We got the Arkansas woodcutter and how to garden.
Wow.
Yeah.
Arkansas woodcutter, man. Hey, how you doing? It's been a while.
It's been a little while.
It's been a minute since we've had him on the channel. Teleprompter. Barbara's eyes must have rolled back so far.
No kidding.
We used that teleprompter for like 3 or 4 videos back in the day. And then we realized that our videos sounded way too scripted. Not to say that I might not use it again for an instructional video or something like that. But for the most part, that teleprompter, the whole rig, because you had to own an iPad, so I had to buy the latest iPad. And then you got to get the teleprompter, which is a chunk of change. And the easel, the tripod system that, oh man, it was stupid. It was stupid money. But yeah, 23 in the house. Proud y'all are here. Thank you so much. But just take it from us, really. You don't need what you think you need. So one way to look at it is if you do buy a bunch of stuff, everything you buy is added weight to your RV or your trailer or your fifth wheel. It's added weight. And that's not good. That's never good. Even for gas economy, that's not good. If you go through the basements in your RV and the cabinets inside and you haven't used that thing in 6 months, if you haven't used it in 3 months and you're doing a good bit of camping, you don't need it. You don't need it. If you've got a house, put it in the house. If you got friends, give it away. That's the best thing to do. Yeah. Give it away. It's their problem now. Okay. All right. Next topic. America the Beautiful card is golden.
You have to be 62.
Well, no, that's not true.
Well, if you have a disability, you can get it.
Yeah.
Younger age.
America the Beautiful. If you have one card, that's fine. If you're both over 62, get 2 of them. Be
careful though, because some sites will not let you both. You're not supposed to both use it. You know, me for 2 weeks and you for 2 weeks.
That's why
it says that on that.
That's why it says that. But we have actually used it in that capacity.
Yeah.
To play the system. And we'll just leave it at that. The America the Beautiful card is a must. It's I think our lifetime cards were $80 a piece.
$80.
Here recently, we stayed for 10 days at a Corps of Engineer campground. And when the card finally came in the mail, I ran back down there to get my my refund. You know, I paid up front for the full camping, the full site cost. With my America the Beautiful card, I got back more than I paid for the America the Beautiful card.
Yes, you did.
I actually broke even right there on the spot. So America the Beautiful, if you're old enough to get the America the Beautiful, and or if you have a disability, you can check on that. Another boy, Cardinal is working it, boy. Another no-brainer is the Passport America. Passport America is $40 a year. Use it for 2 camping trips and it paid for itself.
Yeah.
Pretty simple. Over 1,200 campsites, Canada, America, Mexico. But that's a no-brainer. We happen to be ambassadors with Passport America. You see it right down there in the corner. And you see our Passport America promo code up at the top. We're not pushing it, but we're kind of pushing it because it's a no-brainer. It really is a good addition to any memberships you might have, or if you don't have any.
Yep.
It's a great one. But we also are in the final stages of getting our 1,000 trails.
Yep. We finished all the paperwork, the cards in the mail. I tried calling today, you know, because she gave a number.
Yeah.
And option 5 so that we can get our account
membership number. Yeah.
And on Sunday, and nobody answered the phone, and option 5 didn't work. So I guess I'll call tomorrow.
But we weighed the pros and cons of 1,000 trails, and and did a lot of homework. We did a lot of homework, and you'll need to do yours too to find out if it's right for you. But a Passport America, that's really a no-brainer. That's a membership that you're going to break even on real quick, and start saving a lot of money.
Lisa, we bought a used one.
You did indeed. Went through a broker.
Yeah. But it had all the options we wanted it, and got a good deal on it.
You got to do your homework, though. It's not something you can just jump into. We worked on it for several months and talked to a lot of people. Every time we had the opportunity to meet someone who had 1,000 Trails membership, we made sure we picked their brains about it. We love our America the Beautiful card. Use it a couple of times and pays for itself. That's Rayleigh Creative Travel. Certainly does. It really does. So check that out. Where did they get them from? Now I got mine from the U.S. Geological Society. Yep. usgs.org.
Or just Google.
No, Gov. I'm sorry, Gov.
Yeah, just Google America the Beautiful.
I'm gonna actually kind of warn them against that, because there are other places that sell the card. But if you want to go straight to the horse's mouth, it's usgs.gov. Yeah. Yeah, best way to get it.
Or go to an open.
Yeah, an open wildlife office,
so
a conservation office. They're supposed to be able to sell them to you directly. Okay, here's a big one. It's a tough one for me. It's one of the hardest for me to wrap my brain around. RV refrigerators and freezers, right there. RV refrigerators and freezers are small. Now, unless you happen to be one of those that has a full-size residential fridge and freezer side by side or whatever, we're not talking to you. We're talking to the rest of you who have a Dometic or, whatever you happen to have, the compact refrigerator freezer. I think in my brain, when I go to Walmart, when I go to Publix, when I go to Piggly Wiggly, when I go to the store, I'm thinking our big old side-by-side Frigidaire in the sticks and bricks. And I load up on meats and sausages and just all kinds of salads and everything else. And I get back and Miss Barbara reminds me.
Where are you going to put it?
And really, where are you going to put it? Well, that's been a hard one for me to learn. But when you go to the store, you got to have that little space. And not only that little space, but you got to know how much of that space you got left. It's not that you got the whole freezer and fridge to deal with, but that's something that we've learned over time. I have finally begun to get my brain wrapped around it. I still sometimes buy too much and end up eating the whole pack of hot dogs that night because I ain't got no place to put them. Well, between me and Cody, we'll eat a pack of hot dogs raw. Love hot dogs. Anyway, your RV fridge and freezer is small. If you have a small one, we're talking to you. Here's a great one. I'm going to let you start this one. Last one on that line right there.
Camping with friends and family is awesome.
It is awesome.
Awesome.
It's the best way to go if you can.
Yes.
It's not bad. We were in Key West and we were by ourselves.
Yeah.
We made some friends while we were there. But when you plan a trip and you can go with friends and family, wow.
Yeah, that's really awesome. We enjoyed those and that was one of the reasons why we went ahead and got our 1,000 Trails was
small.
We got our 1,000 Trails because we were able to meet up with folks that we can't necessarily meet up with at a military base or whatever. And meetups. We've been to Mayberry twice now. This next year it's going to be in Georgia.
And we're going to try our best to make it, but we got 4 days to get from Colorado 1,500 miles to North Georgia. So we're still kind of debating whether or not, because that's going to be 15 divided by 4 is about 350 miles a day.
But I've got a little bit of a idea where we're going to go, and some of those days it's going to be 400 miles. But
and I kind of like my limit to be At the most 300 miles.
Yeah. But camping with friends and family, and of course, most of our friends are family to us because we'd rather be with them than some of our family.
That is the great thing about it. Your family, once you meet up, your family.
Yeah.
I'll never forget. I think the first couple we ever met in the RV community was in Tampa, and we met up on MacDill Air Force Base at the dry camping, and it was our epic RV adventure, and we were so excited about meeting YouTube channels, and we met them, and I think we were lifelong friends from day one.
Yeah.
It was just so comfortable and so easy to get to know people and relax. And I don't know, it's been that way with everyone we've met.
Yeah, I haven't met anybody that I wouldn't meet up with again.
Oh, no.
Not anybody. So
that's great.
We've been really fortunate.
But anyway, when you get a chance to plan a trip, a get together, a meetup, whether it involves camping or not, if it's just drive to meet someone and have some dinner, do it with friends and family. It just makes the entire camping experience that much more special. It really is. Yeah. Camping by yourself, sometimes you need that too, just to relax and unwind. But getting together with family, and what you got?
Well, we've only got 8 minutes, and we said we were going to give away a ball cap.
Yeah, let's go ahead and run through these real fast. Solar generator, a must. We learned that in Key West, 21 days of boondocking, a solar generator.
Even a little portable one, which we have.
It's obviously not economical to run your big 8,000 Onan generator to power a CPAP machine during the night. Okay? Or make coffee or run your TV. You can do that with a solar generator and a couple of panels, 100 watts, 200 watts, whatever. Let it charge during the day if you have sunlight. A solar generator is a must. And I'm not pushing any one particular solar generator, but there's a bunch of them on the market, and they all predominantly do the same thing.
Yeah.
They're all pretty good. Lots of parks and campgrounds have pests. Learn about how to defend yourself against pests, whether it be ants, whether it be bugs, whether it be wasps or bees or anything else. Do some homework, because sooner or later you're going to stay in a park where the ants are going to be everywhere. We have found that a lot of state parks and Corps of Engineer parks near bodies of water have big problems with sugar ants.
Yeah.
They're little ants. They really don't bite, but man, they get everywhere. I mean, they are and if you're not careful, they'll wrap your RV up. It'll take weeks to get rid of them. Okay, so learn about the pest and watch some videos on how to safeguard your RV against pest infestations. This is one I learned from Mel and Nettie. Consider half a tank empty.
Yep.
And we learned that lesson on I-10 down in North Florida when our RV broke down. There's a video on that. Go check it out. Our RV broke down, and I had about 3/4 of a tank of gas, diesel, but we used the generator to relax in the rest area while we waited for this long process of getting parts and getting a repairman out. And it took almost a day and a half to get it all done. And if we had been any less than, say, 1/4 of a tank, we could have never run the generator. We would have just been sitting in the dark RV. So when you're driving, when your gas needle gets below a half a tank, start at that moment considering where you can get some fuel, whether it be diesel. And here's another myth I want to bust. The truck drivers don't mind RVers in the truck lanes at truck stops. If you're in line to get diesel, get on in that line, be respectful, get in, get your gas, ease on out, get out of their way. But I hear these horror stories about truck drivers being so mean to RVers and can't stand them being in the truck lanes and stuff. Hey, you're a diesel truck. You're a big rig. You need diesel. Get on in there. But consider the pest. Consider half a tank as empty. And Miss Barbara, what about the 222 and 333 rule real quick?
222 is 200 miles.
Yep.
or 2 hours. No, I'm sorry, 200 miles. Get there by 2 o'clock in the afternoon and stay 2 nights.
That's right.
333, 300 miles. Stay there 3 nights, but you make sure you get there by 3 o'clock.
That's right. We love that rule. I don't know who taught it to us. A lot of folks know that rule.
Diane and Brad.
Brad and Diana.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Okay, a real quick list of our essentials. These are things we try not to hit the road without.
Okay.
And this harkens back to that. You don't need everything you think you need.
Okay.
We love our ice maker. You take that list over there.
I got the Instapot.
Dehumidifiers. You need those if you live in an RV.
Yes. Air fryer.
Oh, we love the air fryer.
Yeah.
The solar generator.
An air compressor.
Got to have an air compressor, folks. That is a must. You need to keep those tires at the right pressure. Telescoping ladder or some other lightweight ladder.
I'm sorry, the Blackstone.
Yep, we love the Blackstone. Foldable wagon. That comes in handy.
It really does.
You know, you can go to Camping World, you can go to Walmart, you can go any place and get yourself a foldable wagon. If you got to take laundry down to wash laundry, if you got to take chairs down to the beach or a beach umbrella, you know, whatever, you got to have one of those.
Jetpack.
Our jetpack, which is Verizon, but we're also looking into some other sources. Tools. You really need I'm not going to point out all the tools you need, but you know which tools you need. I need a lot of tools, but have some tools. Have some basics at least.
Your RV GPS.
Even though it steers me wrong sometimes, if we punch the address in, chances are we're getting there to the right spot.
Okay. Space
heaters. You don't want to burn your propane gas up using your furnace because maybe it's not that cold. But you'd be surprised. A couple of small space heaters, especially if you're using somebody else's power, you're on 50 amp hookup or something. That space heater will go a long way to warm up RVs in most situations. I'm not talking when you're up in the Arctic.
You've got gas stop.
Gas stop. That is in case you get a gas leak. It stops the flow of propane. So think about a gas stop. RV Trip Wizard. Miss Barbara is getting better and better every day with that.
Yeah, I've spent a lot of time.
She has spent a lot of time, but it is a valuable tool for us. And finally,
other apps like your dump station.
We just discovered that one. That's a great one.
There's a lot of apps out there.
I think
I'm still working on getting them to talk to each other.
There's all kinds of apps, but dump station apps. That's a no-brainer right there because it's other people populating the app with the locations they find and brief little write-ups about what state it's in, how easy it is, how accessible it is to get to, and so forth. Okay. Electric blankets.
That's
Justin and Christine, that is a great idea. WeBoost. I just bought a cell phone booster, and I've already done the unboxing video portion of the video, and I'm going to go ahead and mount it tomorrow. Oh, yeah, TPMS. We do have TPMS, but I'm going to tell you what I dislike about TPMS. When those batteries start going, they're expensive. I got to find me a source on Amazon where I can get those batteries in bulk because I went to Walmart and one battery was $5 and I've got 16 between the RV and the Jeep, our tow vehicle.
Yep.
So that can get expensive and they don't seem to last very long with me. I don't know why I don't know. They just don't, the batteries. A garden sprayer is a must too. I see a lot of RVers with garden sprayers and
beer, brats, and double check the beer. Gotcha.
Beer, brats, and beer. Beer, brats, and beer. That's right. There you go. And check beer.
Double check. Yes. Yep.
All right. We're out of time.
We're out of time.
So let's go ahead. Let me have the mouse there. I'm going to drive real quick. Miss Barbara, think of a word. Think of a word, Miss Barbara. We're going to bring up the giveaway tool, and we're going to have everybody type the word in.
Trip.
The word is trip.
Make it simple and easy. And
trip.
fast.
T-R-I-P. The word is trip. The word is trip. Type T-R-I-P, trip. floor rugs. Some great ideas in the chat there. Y'all check it out or go back and watch this video and read the chat. I know we're not real good about covering it. Real
Corkscrew
good.
for wine.
Corkscrew for wine. Okay, 4 people have typed the word trip. This is for an RV underway ball cap. You'll have your choice of blue, black, or tan.
Okay.
Blue, black, or tan RV underway ball cap. Some of the most wanted swag of all time. People love the ball caps. They really love the ball caps. So anyway, the word is trip. The word is trip. I'm going to go ahead and share a screen. And the word is trip. Okay, there it is right there. We have got 15 out of 21. 15 out of 21. I'm going to give y'all just a minute or two more. I'm sorry we're going long here. It's 2 minutes past our time, and Miss Barbara warned me about that, but I wanted to get to these items on the list. And before we go, just want to thank y'all for being here on a Sunday. Consider joining a membership to RV Underway. We would certainly appreciate that. And thank you to our members. And you'll see a list of those members right down here in the comments. So do check them out. Let's see how many we got here. We have got 17. Going once. The word is trip. T-R-I-P. Trip. Going twice. Only 17. Going 3 times. Good luck, everybody. Here we go. And the winner of an RV Underway ball cap is... boom, Mary Jones. Congratulations, right, Mary. I know you'll sport that ball cap with pride. Thank you so much.
Just send me an email at rvunderway@gmail.com. Tell me what color you want and make sure I got your address. I believe I do.
Blue, black, or tan. And we need your address, rvunderway@gmail.com. Thank y'all, everybody who's here. We really appreciate it. Had a lot of fun covering some of these topics here.
You
and
need to make a video of these topics.
And don't forget, I'm going to punch this one more time. The Slow-Mo Crew Rendezvous is coming up April 25th through May 2nd. Yep. The 2 goodie bag giveaway and also the grand prize, a Blackstone grill. You must be present to win. 19 channels are already going to be there. We have had a blast. Thank y'all for being here. Congratulations, Mary Jones. And we will see y'all on the flip side. And until we see you again, fair winds and following seas. Bye, y'all.